Hey there, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to Travel Tip Tuesday once
Hey
again.
girl, what's up?
Kicking it with Kim. I'm the owner of Dawn and Dust Travel Agency, where we create custom itineraries, provide flexible and affordable vacation planning, as well as teach and advocate for travel literacy and education.
That's a
So
jam.
today's episode of Travel Tip Tuesday, we're going to talk about how to ball on a budget. Because I feel like a lot of my friends always say, Kim, how you do it?
Right, let me know.
You know, I feel like a lot of people think that it's expensive sometimes to travel. And don't get me wrong, it is. Don't get it twisted. It could definitely be expensive. But I found that, you don't always have to spend a lot of money to get value for your experiences. You know what I'm saying? So it's not always about the price tag. It's about the feeling that you get when you do it, if that makes sense. At least that's how I determine what I do whenever I go on a vacation. I want to have fun. I want to have a good time. I want to remember. If it's something that I really do want to spend money on, then of course, I save it up and then I plan it that way. If you watch one of our other videos, check out how to save money for travel.
That
break down all the equations and everything like that. But keep in mind,
hold up, let me
you
get my
don't have to
notebook.
break bank just to have fun. So first and foremost, secondly, you want to remember that, depending on your destination, you have to remember the culture that you're walking into. Dubai is not going to be the same as Dublin. Tahiti not going to be the same as Tampa.
Yeah, that's
some
true.
countries are just culturally more expensive than other ones. And it's just facts. It be like that. If you go to Europe is expensive. Okay? Europe is expensive. Don't get it twisted. Okay? I'm trying to put y'all on game. But keep that in mind. But don't get it, don't be scared with the price tag either, because as I just told you, if you work with your savings plan breakdown and you really want to do it, you can get it done. But if it's just something that's not in your budget, don't be discouraged, because a lot of times you may be able to find people who can offer it to you locally. And we'll talk about that later. We're going to break that down in a second. But basically, if y'all don't take anything from this lesson, it is to look locally, you have to debate, comfortability over cost, and have a plan, break it down and stick to it. All right, so we're going to go down all the bullet points. So first and foremost, I like to
here we go,
break my decision making down when it comes to balling on the budget with regards to stuff to do. Break it down into the 5 needs. 5 basic needs, human-based needs. So,
I got a lot of needs, though.
In my mind, that's food, water, shelter, sleep, and safety. And non-essential physical needs like clothing and things like that. So those are round about 5 basic human needs. Now, breaking those down with travel, obviously, it'd be a little different. So I grouped them a little different.
I got you.
So first and foremost, food and water. Quintessential. I don't know about y'all, but I stay hungry. Okay, that's my first determination. Where are we going to eat? What are we going to eat? Where food at? Those are always my first questions. So when it comes to going overseas, think about, do your research before you go. I always encourage that. You have to do that anyway. First off, not a suggestion, an imperative. There you go. Do your research. Look into the culture of the country that you're going to. What do they offer with regards to cuisines, foods, different types of items and cooking methods. I have one of my favorite chefs. He lives in Puerto Rico. Shout out to you, Chef Juan. If y'all get to go down there, go to Alma. It's a beautiful, beautiful restaurant. He makes some fantastic, wonderful food. But he blends, the local flavors of Puerto Rico as well as, different African flavors and French cooking methods as he's learned over the years through his career. So always look and see who the local people are wherever you're going.
Find the homies.
With regards to your destinations, because you can find some fantastic local places, local business owners and chefs and vendors who can give you some fantastic food, y'all.
That good, huh?
I mean stuff that you'll never find like anywhere else. Like when we go to Mexico, I really want to go to Mexico, and I want somebody's grandma to make me my tortillas. I want somebody's auntie back there making the mole sauce for me that's been stewing for like 5 years. And they do that
we
sometimes.
coming to the cookout.
Okay? Sleep on it if you want to. But,
I was just thinking that. I was vibing.
So food and water. Think about where you want to go, what you really want to eat, what that place has to offer, and where you can find it locally. Because 9 times out of 10, if you find it locally, it'll be a little bit cheaper than name brands that you'll normally find back home, especially American ones. KFC here is totally different than KFC overseas, y'all. The recipe will change and everything. They use different herbs and spices. Trust me. Go to KFC in the Caribbean versus KFC up here. You'll see.
Not the
But
lemon
again,
spicy.
that's not something that's normal down there. So of course the price will be different, the taste will be different. You feel what I'm saying? So you can look for things that if you're one of those people who just err to the side of caution when it comes to tasting new things, that's fine. But just be aware that even though you're sticking with the same brands that you're used to at home, they won't always be 100% the same because the cultures will be different. So recap, research where you're going, find out what they make.
Alright.
Check the price ranges.
Okay.
And also, side note, if you want to avoid that altogether, just to save even more money, find your local market and cook where you at.
In the kitchen, wrist twisted.
Whenever we go, we kind of do it halfway. So of course, you know, I want to go and experience the country that I'm in. But if we are on the budget, yeah, we'll go eat out maybe a couple times. But other than that, we're going to hit the store on day one. And then we stock up the fridge with all the snacks. And we'll at least make dinner, you know, while we're there. But no, we don't be eating out like that for every single meal period. That's a lot. That's expensive. So especially if you know how to cook. And it's fun, y'all. Like when you're overseas or going on a trip wherever you at, it's really fun when y'all get together as a group and y'all eat together. It's really great.
Squad.
Like if y'all check some of my highlights from California with my best friend for her birthday, we had a huge breakfast. It's fantastic. We look forward to it, you know? So keep that in mind. All right. First step, food and water. Second group set.
All right,
shelter
let's go.
and sleep. So with regards to shelter and sleep, obviously that has to do with your lodging. So with that one, it's a little more complicated because there are a lot more intricate details, because the details don't just involve you. You know, food and water, that's your personal. You decide what you want to eat, what you feel like tasting, what you feel like drinking. But hotels and lodging and places to stay obviously involve other people, especially if you're in a group. So you kind of have to decide a few different tiers of questions. So do you want a shared space for everybody's using everything, or do you want a kind of more private shared space that will be mostly yours? So for example, you want to stay in a hostel or stay in a hotel, you know, because hostels is kind of usually a free-for-all. If you're by yourself or a solo traveler, especially because you're sleeping in a room with people that you don't know, you're sharing a kitchen with people you don't know, sharing a bathroom with people that you don't know, versus staying in a hotel. Of course you get your own, you know, obviously you get your own room and you share, you know, the public spaces like the lobby, the cafeteria, the dining room, you know, the fitness room, stuff like that, you know. So you kind of have to debate, do you want, I guess, you know, more privacy versus less privacy? That's
I don't like
for first. Secondly, you want to think about, do you want to only pay for your room, or do you want a setup where everything is paid for? So for example, do you just want the room, or do you want the room, the breakfast, the pool, the skydiving, the waterboarding, the tennis court, the everything? Do you want all of that, all inclusive? All inclusive is fantastic when you can do it. Believe me, you don't have to worry about anything. Food's covered, drinks are covered, sports are covered, fun is covered. Sometimes they take care of your kids, sometimes they watch your dog. It depends. However, you will pay for all-inclusive pricing.
I figure.
You will pay for it. Fortunately for me, sometimes I can find really, really fantastic deals on all-inclusive places because I have, you know, travel agent access, and I find them for myself, but I can definitely find them for other people too. But even still, sometimes they can run you up real high because they're all-inclusive. They include everything. Versus staying at, you know, like a regular little hotel room. Do you want to just book your room, pay for your room, and then, you know, buy breakfast on your own?
I ain't want to say
buy
that.
your events on your own, go sightseeing on your own, and things like that. Versus having the hotel pay for them, or have the hotel, you know, provide the service and you pay the hotel.
Nah, I think I'll do it myself.
Lastly, do you want to? You have to ask yourself: do you want going back to privacy? Do you want your own spot, or do you want a space in someone else's spot? So just break that down. For example, do you want, you know, an individual house or villa or bungalow that y'all will have and it's just yours? Like y'all got the keys, nobody going in, nobody going out but y'all? Or do you want to stay in someone else's home who is a local? Because there are a lot of different websites that you can use to link up with local people who just have, you know, extra rooms in their house or extra guest houses in their backyards. And they'll charge a minimal fee, because it's not like Airbnb. Airbnb is like, you know, somebody's house, they don't live there, you know, they renting it out like a hotel. these in particular, the people who own the houses still live there, and oftentimes will take care of you. For example, and if you decide to ever to go to Cuba, you can find what's called casas particulares. And basically those are like little mini Airbnbs, but the people who own the houses live there. You know, they talk to you, they connect with you, they sometimes cook meals for you, take you to places that, you know, you would never see on your own as a tourist. So
they can be my whole new family.
Or options like those are great, especially if you're by yourself. You can, you know, get to know a family, or if you're doing an internship overseas and you just need somewhere to stay, you can stay with the family and help them clean up. You help them cook. You cook meals with them. Like,
that sounds like my mama
bond
for real.
with the people that you stay with, and you keep those relationships with you wherever you go. So that's a good option too if you're more adventurous like that. So just to go over it again, you have to debate.
Good, I can't write that.
These are just subcategories, not the only ones, but just for clarity and example, you have to ask yourself, you know, hostel environment versus hotel environment. You know, do you want to pay only for my room or pay for everything? You know, all inclusive is important. Tick, tick, tick. Boom, boom, boom.
Bloop.
And lastly, do I want to stay at somebody else's house or do I want to stay in my own spot? You know, and I hope you guys notice I'm not giving you any monetary breakdowns because it's hard to break that down if, you know, you don't know what you want. That's why
that's what the other video was for.
This episode, we're talking about how to break it down step by step to determine how you can or cannot ball on the budget, because it's very doable. It's very doable. And lastly, so you know that little subset, we had 5.
All right,
we did
let's
the
bring
first
it home.
4, so food and water, shelter and sleep. The last one, this the big one, because this one has the most variability within it. If you guys were paying attention from earlier, so we kind of started from, you know, top to bottom, important to least important, but least impact to most impact. So food and water, then shelter and sleep, and now we're down to, you know, the non-essential things, but the things that you really want, you know, like clothing, souvenirs, experiences, shopping, things like that.
Right.
When it comes to those non-essential things, that's when you kind of sometimes have to bite the bullet. You know, you have to ask yourself, do I want something that is, you know, handmade or made locally, or do I want something that's made in a factory and manufactured?
That's a good point.
You know, do you have a shopping list for things that you want and things that you plan on getting? Because once you make a list, that's the best way to stick to a budget. Make a list. Go in knowing what you want, what you finna get, what you can get, what you can't get. Go into the store acting like you're somebody's mama and be like, you better only pick up one thing. Okay? Sometimes you have to be your own mama. Smack yourself in the back of the head and everything.
Now that's discipline.
But that's what a list does. It keeps you disciplined and it keeps you close to your plan. So always make a shopping list. Whether that has to do with like tangible things like souvenirs or, you know, experiences. And when it comes to experiences, you kind of have to debate that within yourself. That's not something that somebody else can determine. That's like, you know, for example, I love elephants. That's my spirit animal.
Oh my God,
I want to
me
touch
too.
one, hug one, and everything. Like when I hit like another landmark birthday, I want to go to Thailand, Africa, or India, wherever. Probably go to all of them. Shoot, I touched all them elephants, but I want to touch elephant, right? So you kind of have to debate, you know, is that an easily accessible experience that, you know, I could do whenever, all the time, it's always available, or is that a, you know, once in a lifetime thing? Because when you weigh it that way, price will always teeter-totter, because, you know, things that are easily accessible will obviously be cheaper because a lot of people can easily access them, versus that once in a lifetime, oh my God, I just touched an elephant, I'll only do it one time, I don't need to ever do it again, it'll cost me about a stack.
A stack?
Versus, oh, I could do that today or tomorrow or the next day or whenever I feel like it, and it's only $10.
Right, because who finna?
You know, so you kind of have to think about supply versus demand, and then you know, desire versus what you can really deal with.
Okay, know? Like how bad do I want it?
And you also have to think and debate whether it is temporary or it is something that's long lasting too. So, for example, with a souvenir or a party, you know, you want to, something temporary would be like, oh, I bought tickets to a party to go to. Oh, I got entry into a club while we're in Miami on vacation. You know,
and
something that will only last for a few hours or a certain limited time. You can only do once, you know. versus getting something that you can last for a lifetime with regards to like a souvenir. You can get you a shot glass, get you a bracelet, get you something that you can hold on to and remember and actually feel and touch and see and look at for the rest of your life. You know, you'll always
think about
remember,
it like that.
You know, that party or going to that club. But unless you have pictures, you don't have anything to remember that. Versus you could say, oh, I went to this party or I went to this club and I bought this commemorative shot glass, but I didn't, you know, buy a bottle or a hookah or anything like that. But I did get this fantastic shot glass or fish bowl, especially if you go, y'all, we went to New Orleans and people was walking around with commemorative fish bowls. You know,
So
if you
that's
want
a note
something
to the
like that,
section.
think about that as well. You have to debate, like I said, is it temporary or is it long lasting? Is it local or is it manufactured by a brand that you already know? And is it a once in a lifetime thing or is it easily accessible? All of these things will help you determine your budget and what you are willing or are not willing to work with. That's why I always encourage people, write stuff down. Write it down. I
Yes,
promise you,
ma'am.
when you write it down, when you start, your list gonna be like, oh my God, I want this. But once you start going down that list and you start pricing everything, you be like, ooh, I can't, nope. And then that's how you plan your budget. You determine, you know, what things are most valuable or most important to you. You know, things that you really, really want to experience, things that you really, really need to see or need to do while you're going on, you know, to your destination. So just a quick recap over how to ball on a budget.
Oh, I gotta pay attention. You turn the music
First
off.
and foremost, think about where you're going and how they be stunting over there. Okay, because if you're gonna be stunting like them, you gotta be able to pay like them. Okay,
Because stunting is a habit.
Determine your expenses. So write everything down, what you want to do, what you feel like doing, what you want to experience, what you want to take
Got
back
my list
home,
ready.
all of that. And then once you have that long grandmaster list of what you think you want to do, go down through your 5 basic needs. So food, water, shelter, sleep. We're gonna wrap safety in there. And then the non-essentials. So clothing, souvenirs, things like that, experiences. So go down your list, food and water. You know, do I want to eat local versus eating
Don't play
name
yourself.
brand things that I know from home that might be more expensive? Do I want to eat out or do I want to stay and cook where I'm at? Do I want to do a combination of the two? Those are things that you have to answer to yourself to figure out your budget with regards to, you know, food and drinks and water and things like that. Shelter and sleep. You have to ask yourself, you know, do I want something like a hostel versus a hotel? You know, do I want to only pay for my room or do I want all inclusive? You know, you have to ask yourself stuff like that. Do I want to stay in somebody else's house or do I want my own private spot? You know, all of those things will determine different prices. And if you guys ever need help creating a vacation, we have a vacation creation form that will do all of that for you. Ask all of those questions. You know, what you want, what you're looking for, you know, what are your preferences, things like that. And that'll be online in our online shop on our website. But, you know, ask yourself those questions. And then lastly, think about those things that are non-essential. So clothing, such as, you know, shopping, experiences, souvenirs, things like that. You know, have yourself a list. Start with that list, because by now, you know, we're at the end, so that list should be about right here. You know, you can only fit about so many things within 5 days and 4 nights, you know, so to speak, or however long you're gonna be in your destination. So once your list start up here, once you get down to those non-essential things, your list should be about right here. You know, and then you determine what you do and what you don't want to do. You know, think about, do I want, you know, handmade local things versus things that I can buy at a store that are manufactured? Do I want something temporary that will only happen for a short period of time, or do I want something that will, you know, last forever, that I can hold on to for a long, long time? And then lastly, do I want to do something that's a once in a lifetime experience, like touching my elephant? Or do I want something that is more easily accessible that I can always have, like a stuffed elephant?
Nah, you gotta touch
You
a real
know,
one.
Decisions to make. Shout out to Goody Mob.
Word.
But yes, that is about it for how to ball on a budget, y'all. And if y'all have any other questions, y'all can always send me a message, send me an email or a DM on Instagram. Anything from me within social media is at Dawn and Dust Travel.
Okay,
So I'm
girl.
on Instagram and I'm on Facebook as well as YouTube. And if you guys have any suggestions for Travel Tip Tuesdays that you want to hear, that you want to see, or that you need explained, please forward them to me, and I will cater them to you as best as I can. You know, I get a lot of requests sometimes, but if you ever want to hear something or have something explained specifically, please just let me know, send me a message, and then check our YouTube channel as well, because we upload videos every week. So if there's a tip or something that you want to know, let me know. But thank you guys once again for kicking it with me on Travel Tip Tuesday, and I hope y'all have a wonderful evening. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
Deuces.